We are closing in on the end of the first year of the second Trump administration, and as much as people expected the second term would be different, most were not expecting the extent and the speed of the changes that came. Graham Dodds joins us. Hi, Graham.
Hi, Mitsumi.
Graham, there have been so many things that have happened. It's hard to imagine that Donald Trump was sworn in only just last January. What stands out for you?
I think it's just the sheer volume and nature of his many controversial unilateral directives. I mean, he has issued all sorts of bizarre and controversial executive orders, pardons, tariffs, obviously, but all sorts of other things. And I think it's clear that he is even more determined to push the envelope than he was in his first term. I very much get the sense that Trump or his advisors kind of learned the lessons of his less than effective first term and came ready to hit the ground running. And that's what they've done. I think Trump 2.0 just makes Trump 1.0 look utterly tame by comparison.
Many of the actions are controversial, some perhaps people say illegal. You wrote a book about executive powers of the president, but were you expecting this?
To be perfectly honest, no, I was not. I thought that Trump, being lucky enough to have Republican majorities in both chambers of Congress, the House and Senate, would use Congress to pass laws, which is traditionally how policy is made in the United States, especially when the president enjoys a cooperative Congress. But that's not been the case. Much of what he's done, most of what he's done, almost all of what he's done has really been done unilaterally. Trump issued over 24 executive orders the day he was inaugurated, and according to the Trump White House, issued over 100 unilateral actions in his first 100 hours. By comparison, most presidents issue about 50 executive orders a year. So quantitatively, Trump is doing an awful lot on his own. And it's not just the numbers, it's the nature of these things. I mean, going against long-standing norms, traditions, customs, utterly no restraint whatsoever. I mean, he's punishing his opponents, he's rewarding his supporters, scaring others into submission, and again, it's really just dramatic in both number and nature.
So we've seen the tariffs, the immigrant crackdowns, the strikes on alleged drug boats. Some things, though, haven't changed. Gun crime, for example, cost of living. So how are the American people seeing Donald Trump?
I have to say that according to the polls, Trump is very unpopular. Far more people disapprove of him than approve of him, but he remains very popular with the Republican base, with his MAGA supporters who just think he can do no wrong whatsoever. There is that, but I'd have to say, I tell my students at Concordia, Trump is not a normal president. He's unusual. The thing is that he's been around so long now that it's almost a new normal. He's starting to see normal. So especially my students who don't have much of a living memory before Trump of American presidents think this is the way it is. And it's not that way. I mean, once upon a time, Americans expected their presidents to be polite and civil and at least give lip service to decorum and democracy. And I'm afraid that's all out the window now. We're in an era of chaos and coarse rhetoric, and it's the new normal. And I'm afraid it's really thanks to Mr. Trump.
So we've got another 3 years left, Graham. Are we going to see more of the same, do you think? Or do you think there'll be any kind of resistance, maybe at the midterm elections?
Well, as you know, where Trump is involved, I'm really reluctant to make predictions because he is so unpredictable, so different, so unusual. But it does not seem he's inclined to any sort of moderation. So I think we have to sort of suppose he's going to keep doing what he's doing until someone or something finally stands up and stops him. And what could that be? Well, the Supreme Court seems inclined to go along and even give him more leeway than he currently enjoys. Very few Republicans have anything at all bad to say about him, except perhaps for Marjorie Taylor Greene. And, Democrats are in the minority, and they can't do much until maybe they win back some power next November. But I have to say, even if they're successful in the November elections, they won't be in office until early 27. So basically, reading the tea leaves, it seems that politically 2026 might look a lot like 2025.
Okay. Thank you very much for this, Graham.
Thank you.